Hello, afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the GAM music on Block Entertainment, Block TV, the Gambia. I am your host, Kalilu, and today we have the regular baddest manager, the job of the Gambia. He joining us to this exclusive interview. D-Jobs, welcome to the program.
Again, I am happy to be here for the second time, cognizant of the fact that we couldn't finish up our discussion last week, and then I think it's very, very necessary for us to continue where we've stopped last Sunday. I want to thank all the viewers right now, and of course the constant followers of Block TV, to all the music enthusiasts in the Gambia, to you, Carl, my very good younger brother, who have been in this industry for so long. I was just telling my wife day before yesterday that you have served very well in music before you traveled to Europe. Of course, Mahog the Rap Khalifa, it's not a surprise that today Block TV will be established by one of our prominent sector players in the industry, Mahog the Rap Khalifa. This is what good citizens do for their country. The establishment of Block TV is definitely a great achievement. Mahok, I know in the soonest time, we'll be given a lifetime achievement award. I'm so much optimistic about that because I know he has been doing a lot, for Gambians. Likewise, you, Kalilu, so it is very good for us to run the little ones through little history regarding veterans like you, Kalilu Banja. Nobody would doubt your competence. What you've done in this industry, D-Jobs can attest to that reality. And I will not stop lowering my gaze to that reality, that you are also another human library sitting in Europe for the Gambians. So I am glad to be here. D-Jobs, baddest manager, hashtag. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jobarteh. We are exceedingly glad to have you once again on this very interview. And because of the demands taking place in the sectors of the Gambia, it's necessary to come up with conversations that we are going to talk about the various issues that are impeding sector as well, how they could be able to contribute to the socio-economic development of our country, which is the Gambia. And on that note, that is why we will last, and we think that we have an unfinished business with you, and I want to with you on that. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. D-Job, we were talking about the different services that you provide for the various artists before in Gambian Dream, Brikama Boyo, and Nyancho Apachake. And you did tell us 3 important areas, which include registration of the brand name, which is the artist's own company. You also talk about the monetization of the community, which talks about the fan base, how you grow that fan base around the artists in the local context. You were also talking about funding and sponsorships, which talks resource mobilization. So we want you to bring fan base criteria. You said there were modules, and some of that we will sort it on the interview, but break that down. You try to assess the fan base artists in general.
Yeah, that's right, Carl. It's very important that you brought this issue up, and I would like to continue from where we've stopped. Like I said, yes, growing any artist, would have to do with domestic realities, and then around that domestic reality, you have to develop what we call in strategic management a balanced scorecard. And on that scorecard, that is where you would place the domestic reality and then try to navigate around it. And I said
Mm.
in the growth aspect of the artist, the domestic reality would be the fan base that you will set from grassroots level, and then there will be evolution to an extent. There will be a nationwide audibility, audience, group of supporters, music enthusiasts that would, chant the name of that artist and then go to support his or her, events. So the startup point of that particular establishment or construction has to come from the domestic dynamics or the domestic realities, which through the balance scorecard, one would be able to navigate and strategize as to how to build, around the domestic dynamics or reality so that it can turn to be a great evolution for that artist. Now, you will come to realize that after setting up whatever fan club at domestic level, then there will be evolution because that fan club will inform the populace in capital merits regarding the existence of that artist, his or her crafts, his potentials, his events. So that promotional dynamics is greater. Like I just mentioned, I mean, it will turn into whatever national empowerment for that particular artist. And now the logic here is, it is because of that domestic reality or dynamics that would in fact bring more monies to those artists,
The artist. Yeah.
in terms of gate tickets. Yes. So you will come to realize that because you have more power dynamics, because you have more vigorous fans or supporters. Now these group are going to the Q cities, the stadiums, the Benjamins, to bring money to you. So it is that particular manager who was able to navigate very well around this domestic reality. To an extent, you got the national support, that you got. So basically, it is telling you logically that if that manager was able to work on the domestic dynamics until it became a national growth for you as an artist, an empowerment aspect for you as an artist, you should be able to factor the remuneration package or the share-based aspect of that particular manager as far as the job is concerned. So that is the whole sense of it, that you were able, as a manager, yes, one of your responsibilities is to work on the domestic dynamics, the domestic reality for the growth of the fan base, because the growth of the fan base will also turn to be a national empowerment reality of that artist. And then when the national empowerment reality is confirmed or established, that artist also will be able to amass wealth as far as gate takings are concerned. Because it is those loyal fans that you built from the domestic dynamics that were able to go to the Q cities, the stadiums, and the Benjamins. Yes. So that is how it is, Carl.
Okay, that is very clear. That is very clear. And if I can pick on that, so it means that you establish for artists all those chapters around the that is the base chapters.
That's right.
Hey, Benson, can you mention that?
Yes, say again, sorry.
Can you be able or some of those that you have established personally?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fine. First for ST, I was able to establish his fan base. I said it here last time that the first fan base that we established was in Sukuta. And that was after the Jamba Sansang. The Jamba Sansang one wasn't built by me, but then we tried to network very well with Badi Bunka, Broke, and their positive cohort in downtown. So they sort of accommodated my artists. They sort of accommodated my artists, due cognizance of the fact that I also hire guests at networking, which is part of my responsibilities. Do you understand? So it was through networking realities that Jamba Sansang accommodated my artist, ST, so to speak, so that he can have vigor, together with those artists who already had their established fan base in downtown. So it was after Jamba Sansang done that I created the official fan club of ST in Sukuta. So you see, the first establishment, was the Sukuta fan base, and then evolution occurred, because what happened was we went to Banjul Night Live in 2013. This was February in 2013, shortly before his debut album launch event, The Distinction, which was on the 1st and 2nd of March 2013. So we went to BNL around February 18th in 2013. So the Brikama inhabitants saw us on TV. And they said, wow, how could Dijos do this? I mean, why would you establish a fan base in Tukuta when actually the Brikamarians have always seen ST as sort of sense of ownership? So they felt before establishing a fan base in Tukuta, it should have been in Brikama. So I said, you people are very right, but then having strongholds in the different areas of the Gambia is so important, and then you cannot rule out Sukuta. So the next step was to establish ST's official fan base in Brikama, and name it Union ST. You would, yes, exactly. So you are seeing the Vigo dynamics now. I mean, power has come because Sukuta is a stronghold. Brikama also was established to serve as another stronghold, and then metamorphosis occurred. Like we put it in science, evolution occurred because we spread tentacles to be able to grab other fans, across the region. So
I like
that
part.
organization also is great, because the organization also creates more powers. You structured a fan base in Sukuta, and then you went to Brikama, structure another fan base. Do you understand? In Pirang, another fan base, it goes like that. You go to Nyamina, another fan base. You go to Janjambure, you go to Bansang, you go to Base. So that is telling you how all these things are important as a manager, because one thing is it's a stiff market, Carl. It's a stiff market.
But
And
I
then
like
you
one
see,
part of it. I like one part of
yeah,
it, Mr. Jobarteh. I just don't want to
yeah,
cut you there. We will
yeah.
cut. Those fan base,
Please go
are they
inside, please.
really benefiting anything artist income? Like when you set them up, are they
Yeah.
benefiting from income? That is important to know.
Who, the fans? Do you mean the
Yeah, the
fans?
fan,
Yeah,
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 the
obviously.
executive
I will tell you
committee
this.
of the fan.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yes. I will tell you this, Carl. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
of other management, but I feel DJob's management with ST and Nyanjo have been a very innovative management in terms of operations. In terms of operations, because I remember fully well that the Union ST of Brikama, if
Mm-hmm.
Seaboy, kids, and other prominent members, even my wife, are watching this, they will say it's true that DJob's management was the first management that was able to give 15,000, for slot, $15,000 to Union ST in Brikama for them to go on a picnic. And then there was this time also we had to give them $20,000, and in fact open up a bank account, for them,
For them.
because I feel they should also benefit from whatever income that is coming to the artists. So I was able to establish a bank account for them, so that they can be motivated. Because one thing also that is for sure, after working on the domestic dynamics, that is the establishment of the fan base, you should also work on the motivator factor, which is very key. Now, there is the issue of Abraham Maslow's pyramid of needs theory, because I am that manager that also center operations on the books that I've learned. It's not a matter of you trying to express what you know or trying to brag. The reality is nobody can be a manager by magic. There's no magic formula in music business. That's the reality. So I read Abraham Maslow's pyramid of needs, and I understand very well the best thing for us to sustain these fan bases is, by making sure that they also are motivated. They are physiological needs. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, they are rights, as fan
Yeah,
base
but
members, they have
Dembo, I
problems.
don't want
Yeah,
to but I think that part that you are elaborating is very, very important. And that was the
yeah,
relations I want to know. Because as much as our paying is to go, our artists, it is important
yeah,
so that the artists do their responsibilities, that is to support those community members who have their programs and to benefit them in some ways. And that is why times even in the copyright law, music or promotional matters that are meant for educational purpose issues that has to deal with social activities, that is meant to be free. There are no charges. You are supporting. I like that part of it. Give the fans paying the tickets and going to watch us. If that is what you are talking about.
yes. That's what I'm talking about. Because, Carl, you will come to realize that if those fans at some point feel demotivated, is going to have an impact on your career as an artist. Because, yes, they are the group that vigorously support you, that empower you, and bring income to you. So you should do just to their existence. Yeah. And in doing just to them, you should be able to motivate them. Whatever that, they have brought for you, you should be able to also factor, their existence as what economics means, as human beings, as people that also have problems, and then, once you understand that reality, you'll be able to factor and then, motivate your fans. Because, I mean, no artist can pay, his or her fan base as far as support is concerned. In fact, I would always tell people, I said, fan club members, are the first point of promotion for any other artist. They are the most powerful promoters for any other artist. Yeah, for the growth of any artist, the fan base plays a very significant role. Yeah, but then it seems most artists also and their management wouldn't see this very important dynamics as far as the growth aspect of that particular artist is concerned. So it's very important that we consider the domestic dynamics, because that would metamorphosize to the national empowerment reality, the income reality, the support-based reality, the promotional reality, So once management, and their artists are able to understand this, then it will be a level playing ground. And then whatever growth aspect that artist is going to have, there will be what we call consistency, dominion reality, incontrollable factors, because most of these artists, in fact, the reason why, they cease to, the reason why they are still existing, is because of the fact that they have a strong fan base, from a particular region or area that are, behind them. So motivation is important, because if you want these people to be behind you, you should motivate them. And then for them, whether your craft is good or not, they will still support you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's how it is.
Okay, that's simple. Interesting. And then, right, if the technicians are with us, we will just go back to the recorded that you have made, and you were talking about how artists could be able to grow fan base, and if you're asked, we will want to hear that from the technicians. If you are set, you can watch that video and continue with Mr. Jobarteh.
That's good.
Problem be.
Well, Sally, you did mention Afixel. Whether you like it or not, you will see them. Man tamit philosophy boobu la yaga am si art bi moy the philosophy of visibility by force fan nit ñi gis la. So philosophy bi léegi moy ne nit ki artist bi company la. Man suma philosophy organisation la lota kero mako wa bena journalist mané ko ne when I came as Nyancho's manager, I have turned everything from individualism to unionism. Lol mo indi Nyancho a Pataki Entertainment Company. Tay. So they not consider market betterment, because there is what we call competitor audit in marketing. It's a very competitive music industry. Need ki fanga strategize ngamuna jay sa artist. So man, when I came, mungi melni like because nun sign Nyancho, that was the same way they signed me. So basically, I was in the landlord in that record label. The landlord is the CEO. I have also been signed to work with them on contract basis. But again, they have brought me to be the expert in the record label, due cognizant of the fact that I have the experience, I have the knowledge. For them, they have that conviction na ki su ñëwé dina mëna change yu bari. So ko tamé su ñëwé, obviously fana dang ko wara déglu advice am bi, because you have to give them your expertise for them to be able to,
Yeah, because the Palamona Indi, still tamit needuma sa service.
Very good.
You know.
So lulu tamit it was a greater challenge. You know, teman I had a greater vision as far as Jollof Art is concerned because the image of the record label has been stayed. Mangi remember very well the first interview that I had with you here with Sambu Suso. We talked around that.
Of course.
Image Jollof Arts. Teman, I did very good in making sure that I changed that narrative, the mentality people had at the time. Because it wasn't only Nyancho and other artists, but artists were going there
and
coming out.
They always say, "They waste my time."
Exactly. So man, buma faneke, I realized na bena besla dem bakaw. You know, Aksuma Jaba. Then I met this guy, Sidi. DJs, we saw what is happening of recent. You've been signed by Jollof Arts as the expert, the operations manager. But then, do you understand? Nyancho has lost vibe with his fans. Nit Momawali in Bakau. Sidi was the fan club president of Nyancho Kunda. My fancy club in Nyancho in Bakau. I feel the yen Jollof Arts because obviously I'm a collective individual. I feel ne. Do you understand the Nyancho vibe am? Digante mom ak fansami lu am solo la lolu nekatut fa de te dina nekkal time lu ndaw rek Nyancho dañ ko digat because fansi sa ñu ngi mere Nyancho koku li la ma wax
wow
mu ne man Nyancho dañ ko mere de fansami
te mujjé na nekk because at some point digat Nyancho
nu mëna la ne sari if I tell you dafa am ñoo xamantene guru la jëna guru pour dem
attaque gay
waaw pour dem wala ne ma ngi jégalu ñu ngi jégalu wa Nyancho dafa ñëw fan club ama dafa ay guru lañ jënda di round si dëkk bi di dem bala lañu wow li mo going to be difficult wa dégg yàlla I am that person ko xamantene fu ma toog ma ne my utmost regards you know and sincerity to Solso and the entire Jollof Arts, the experience, the travels. I remember when we went to Senegal in 2019 and all these things, the connections jangana si tamit lu bari wa dégg yàlla waaye dama feel ne a lot need to be done pour ñu mëna receive the record label and so why fan na ñun suñ focus bi man suma focus yépp ñum dé nekk moy ne after the life of Jollof Arts wow nekk Jollof Arts challenge la ñaka nekk fofu tamé challenge la because when we all live there after suñ contract bi am nañ benen challenge because kéro man Nyancho bu mu doon ñëw ci man suñ first meeting bi ñu ci di first lockdown ci covid bi around end of July ci la ko wandé dama dem man tamit ma prepare suma contract pour ma mëna set up a new management so contract bobu on the 18th of August 2020 lañ ko sign waaw si digi nawet si digi covid lockdown so ma realize ne around this Sally visibility is key, relationship is key, you know, and I had to bring in the so many approaches so that we can bring back the lost pipe. What I did was to bring in Operation Kondo, you know, Operation Octopus.
What
and
are
then,
those?
Yeah.
What are Kondo and Octopus?
Yeah, I brought in the Kondo approach, the Octopus approach, and the Dominion approach. I also mount the rejuvenation tour by force.
You're somebody that have chance.
Yeah. I'm telling you. So it was challenging. I'm telling you, I brought in. So these were the approaches that I brought in because I realized
this approach.
Exactly. The octopus approach was aimed at bringing. Obviously, the octopus would mean spreading your tentacles
and then
to bring back everybody. So I had to spread our tentacles in to bring back all the fans that left Nyancho. What did we do? We mount, you know, Eto within combo and outside combo. We had to go to Nyancho Kunda Sanyang. Where are you, Tanje? You know, Bakau, come back. The native reality of Nyancho, I wanted to manifest. Come back to Nyancho. We did that. I established the first fan base of Nyancho ever in Brikama. I call it Nyancho Kunda Central. And I said, look, you are going to join force with Bakau because Mbolo Moidole. So I said, we are not going to sit down. I am also bringing the approach Kondo that brought about the rejuvenation tour. Countrywide, by force, rejuvenation. We are bringing back Nyancho. We went countrywide. So the Dominion approach, that is where the media campaign now, the print media, the social media, and the mass media. Yeah, by force. I scheduled the way we started from August 2020. That's the same fire, Sally. Our media campaign never stopped because I believe in visibility. Yeah, I believe in partnership. That is why every show you would see Nyancho. I remember we were in Bantunding in Basse when QCell people called.
Interesting. Visibility is key, and relationship is key. The octopus approach, the con approach, and also the dominion approach.
Yes.
D-jobs.
Yes.
These are very interesting terms and all relating to growing efforts of artists. If you can take us through a little bit, like 1 minute.
That's right, Carl. First, you say I was telling you. I said, Carl, allow me to be your momentary Jaliba Piate and Mahok, to praising you for doing such a great, for doing such a great thing, you know, because this platform is incomparable. I have never seen this sort of interview anywhere. Yeah, since I know myself as D-Jobs. Yes. What you are trying to do is important. The extras that you brought, you know, for reality establishment, I mean, for proper analysis. I have never seen this. I've never had this anywhere. So this is definitely an honest interview, and I like your level of professionalism. I must tell you, you and Mahok, the entire Block TV, you are indomitable. Do you know why I like this point?
Yeah.
It's because we have people that are called perceptual bias individual. These are the people that I refer to as nonchalance, agent implants of instability, and then in Mandinka I categorize everything. I say they are farabakuntukators. Do you know? You know? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Simply because you see, Carl, Billahi, no matter what happened between me and Kalilu, I will never change. I will never change my previous belief as far as Kalilu is concerned. If I had said yesterday that Kalilu is the only person that has 4 qualities, in this industry, I will never change that. Even this very moment, same thing. I had seen a reaction on the last interview that I had. You know, one of the supporters in the music industry came and he was trying to counter you and myself when we were talking about rebranding, when we were talking about building artists. And he was saying, who would build a madman? The reason why these people were able to get this level is because the society and the public knows their competence, you know, their talent, so they'll be able to reach this level even without D-Jobs. So that person is a nonchalant. That person is an agent implant of instability. That person, you know, is a farabakuntukator, because they are the people that will see the reality. They will not say it. They are interested in disintegration. They are the people that, in fact, you know, are retarding the economic growth of this industry because they are not candid in their dealings. Yes, to take you through, you have seen the interview that I had with Sani. Nyancho was in the interview, am I right? So, how on earth would somebody deny the reality that D-Jobs' potential is not what had built the Brikama artists and the Bakau artists? What are you telling me? Would I talk today on TV to say Nyancho is not the Muruba Danano that I built? Would I sit down?
No, but I don't think that should be a contention, because
exactly, my brother.
Due respect, registration process, mobilizing resources, and also a fan base across the country is a great effort. It's a great effort in an artist's career.
This is the point, Carl. So we cannot have some few people in this country that just want to be perceptually biased, just because they just probably hate you just for no reason, or they don't like you because they feel you so that you are the most educated. But then who would deny the reality? Whatever potential that God gave you, whatever education that you had, I mean, you were just lucky to have all those things. So is that education that you use to be able to work on the businesses of these artists? You cannot deny that. If God has made me to be that baddest manager, you said, no, I have to lower gaze on what he had done for these 2 artists, then you are not fair to humanity. You are not even fair to God, because that is absolute grudge, absolute bollocks and bondaguls. So the reality here is just to, just to take you through. I mean, of course, I have to bring in these side attractions to address that nonchalant, that nemesis that came on that particular post just to go against us on no ground.
Yeah,
Now,
but again,
to go back to
again, it was an interactive discussion, and I think also put the message there. People
yeah,
will come with different minds and opinions, and for
yeah,
me, people have been
yeah,
picking on with what I have been posting, but again,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
always wait for the evidence and the facts. If you
very
give me
well
a
said.
fact
Yeah,
which is understandable, I can say, okay, I go by what you are saying. But again,
exactly.
that is the nature of our industry. Moving forward, Dembo,
Yeah,
you are able to identify 3 of the areas that you provide as a service to the
yeah,
art you have been managing, which
yeah.
ultimately puts you as one of the baddest in the want to call you every time. But again, Dembo, can you tell us again what are some of the actions that you do for artists, like in service? And
That's
particularly,
right.
if I can just help you out, like when an artist is doing like a production, because we are talking about the
Yeah,
physical activities that you do that has nothing to do with actually music making. So now we come to the music itself. What are some of the
yeah,
services that you render in those
yeah.
areas?
That's right. Thank you very much, Carl. Just to bring this, these of my nature, like I will put it side attractions. There is a prominent comedian group that came to visit me today,
Mm-hmm.
Carl. Yeah, yeah, at my residence.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming up. Yeah, exactly. And, if I should enter into contract with them, they will become the greatest comedians in this country. They came to visit me. And I know they are pointed at having me, as their manager on contract. But then we will come to that later. Carl,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of production now, typically on music, as per your question,
Mm-hmm.
the services that I offer there is the conceptualization services. Yeah, the act of
Mm-hmm.
conceptualization. Here we would mean giving a particular album project a title, giving a
Okay.
particular track a title, and how to navigate around that conceptual reality of music business in productions. The police soul is a good example. I came up with the concept, police soul,
Okay.
and I'll be very, very happy to navigate around
So,
it.
so
Give it a good time.
I will allow you. I will allow you to go further, but I just want to
Yeah,
establish there is no
yeah,
project in the world which is not
mhm.
conceptualized,
That's right.
because
Very true.
that's the idea,
Very true.
and even the cultural training programs that I have
Yeah,
gone through will tell you
yeah,
exactly. In music, you need business idea which has to talk
hmm,
about performance or which has to talk about production. So,
very true.
is it exactly what you are trying to get into?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get into. Because you see, around the growth car, the production
Mm-hmm.
reality is also important. Yes, my service is in making sure we have a proper production in the studios. Concept, building
Mm-hmm.
concepts, and then articulating around the concepts. So when I conceptualized the police soul, I sold it to the artists. You know, yeah, morally, not financially, morally. I morally sold it to the artists. I said, look, the love that we are receiving from the security fraternity, I think we should come up with a project be called Police Soul. And in fact, that will be the title that we will give to the album. Because when I came as his
Mm-hmm.
manager, yeah, exactly, I set a mission, and then that is to come up with an album for him, first ever. His first ever, his debut album. That's what I see. You understand? I have this vision,
Mm-hmm.
we set the mission. To achieve the mission, we have to come up with an incomparable concept. So, around the production reality, as you asked me, my services was to come up with a concept that is very unique. And that's exactly what I did. Now, when I said Polysoul, it was my responsibility also. Hence, I was the one that sold the concept to him to be able to articulate for the entire team to understand what I meant in the company. So from the
Mm-hmm.
police station, we scheduled an emergency meeting. That was the next day that we met in Bakau. All the team members were around, and I said, "This is the concept that I have. I want the album to be called Police Soul. Why Police Soul?" Then I articulated, brought out the different reasons why we are saying Police Soul. One of the reasons that I told them was I am meant to understand that Nyancho was born in a military barracks, in Fajara military camp. So it's very genuine that Nyancho has that iota of bad reality associated with the security fraternity. You look at his family, most of them are serving the police and the military. You look at his fan base, most of the people that chant the name of Nyancho are in the security fraternity. So I believe we should come up with a project that we will dedicate to the police and the security fraternity in entirety. And I said, devoid of that, the responsibilities, the selfless service of our men and women in uniform, isn't that genuine enough for us to call and name the album Police All? They said yes. So I enumerated all these reasons as to why we said Police All, because I know very well that when we start the campaign, the media will come up again to ask why Police All, and that's exactly what happened. So I sold this concept to Nyancho, like I said, morally, also informed the entire company about the concept, and then had to defend why I said Police All, because within us, there are people that have some doubts regarding why would we say police all, because people have this whatever bad relationship with the police. The public don't want to accommodate the police. The public, the way they see police are like they are on the enemy line, so they can never be accommodated. So I said, we must change the narrative. And in changing the narrative, Nyancho must be willing to inform the public in capital merit that the police are not enemies. We should leverage on the dynamics of community and public policing. With that, people will be able to understand. Nyancho should be able to come out to say, we are going to put the message into rhymes and rhythms for the public to understand the reality aspects. Now, public policing should be our responsibility. So if you look at it from the production dimension, I was able to, bring out this concept, navigate around the concept, articulate around the concept, and then we got into the studio with the concept.
And interesting part, before you get into studio with the concept, conceptualizing that, because we also know there must be plan of activities and methodology like you are going to use to be able to implement that in normal reality. Were you able to sell out that proposal to the police department to be able to incur resources that enable your production acts?
Good question, Carl. Good question. I did not only sell it to the police, I also made sure that the NCAC is involved, because this is a right. You know what I'm saying? If you look at this discussion from copyright dynamics, I informed the police officially. I wrote to the police to tell them, this is the project, indicate the concept of the project, the need, for us to celebrate the police. Why are we coming up with such a concept? I explain everything so that the police can be comfortable. Because one thing that is for sure, if I was not able to write to the police formally, they would have seen the flyer and they would think, okay, maybe we are about to shed tantrums or sakes on them. So I had to make sure that we inform. In fact, then the Inspector General of Police was, may his soul rest in peace, Momon Jai, I fully remember. And then when they saw the letter, Lamin Jai, I would use this opportunity to commend him very well, Lamin, the former police PRO. Lamin Jai is my earlier teen contemporary. We went to Kabavita Primary School together. So when I sent this letter, Lamin Jai invited us on a meeting at the police department, at police headquarters in Banjul. And, we went there, and then they said verbally, they wanted to have a discussion with Nyancho and his management so that we can better articulate to them, explain to them in detail the concept of the Police All album. So we went there, and then I explained everything to them. Lamin Jai told us that this has never happened anywhere in the Gambia. And in fact, there were some other senior officials in police that even said, not only in the Gambia, but then across the globe, they had not seen any group of artists or any particular artist that would come out to celebrate the police, to punctuate in capital merits the importance of men and women in uniform, the importance of the police department. Nyancho is the first artist to do that. So they said, in fact, you people are sort of complimenting us, you understand, and helping us in realizing our vision, because they also had a vision, that is to go on the police all caravan countrywide to inform the masses about the importance of
if I may come in, you can make it interactive, because past strategy they have what
Yeah.
you community policing.
That's
And
it.
then based on that fact, as a
Yeah.
struggle, any activity that
Yeah.
goes around that means
Yeah.
complementing their efforts. And then
Excellent.
probably the resources that they have catered for that
Yeah.
area, they could be able to give that to music as well, able to complement their
Perfect.
efforts. So
Perfect.
a wonderful and a brilliant manager sitting right there. I must
That's right.
compliment you for that. And then these are the areas that I've been talking about. Like it's a cake in the national cake, which belongs to the sector, and we have that.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why we are discussing about the various services that we are putting, but again with
That's right.
honesty and also accountability and transparency, so that
That's
government
right.
of the Gambia and development
Yeah.
could be able to understand exactly which areas they need to empower the
Exactly.
creative sectors from an enabler for development of our society, which is the Gambia. Thank you so much, DJ D Jobs, and on this interview. So you were as well creating a concept, a product idea. So elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah. Yes. 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 The development of the concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That was already done. Yeah.
Yes. And then the production aspect in the studio.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now we all said together. I must commend Nyancho here because he's somebody who believes in the unilateral or the consensus reality of work. Here, I would mean collective responsibility, collective ideas for work to be done. Nyancho believes in that, and that makes him to be a very, very smooth, whatever, running artist. You can easily get along with him because he welcomes ideas, together for us to construct whatever lyrics. So we went to the studio. We all said together that J Life would be the suitable, the appropriate manager to be able to work with us on the police project. But by then we had done a sound with J Life, that is the Kufin Kukoi, around the political time, I mean the campaign and everything. So we said this also J Life can percuss very well, and Nyancho is also a good percussionist. I will state that here. So he said J Life can do it, but then we all have to go to the studio and then build the song together. So we went to the studio, informed J Life about the concept, and Nyancho explained how he wants the beat to be. I mean, because we want the security features to reflect on the song, and the only way we can do that is to bring some of the security adages, the terminology, to reflect on the beat. And you had seen that in the audio and the audio visual. You have seen, you've heard the standard is attend song. Yeah, how we definitely play around the drums, and in fact the police band, the percussion of the band, how the drum rolls, at the starting point. So all these were features of the police band, So I said we went there and then we discussed all around that. J Life, developed the first beat, that was the demo, and then gave it to Nyancho. So Nyancho said now it's up to us now, to go and work around this and then be able to bring a proper content as far as the police project is concerned. So, and he told me, it was Nyancho, because here also I want to be very clear, Carl. You see, in Kufin Kukoi, that was where my product services, in fact, started as a manager, because I did the intro in the Kufin Kukoi video. I was the one that did the intro, and that was my time, and then we developed the ideas together. So the police also, it was Nyancho that said, bro, I want you to do another outro for this as well. Yeah, this was Nyancho's idea, after my concept and everything. I said, no, no problem. So we went with the demo, and then we would be in a vehicle, whenever we are going to shows, and then Nyancho will be, harmonizing around it. He was singing around it, and then he chorus. When I was inside the vehicle, I think Fafandi was also there. He chorus. He said, D-Jobs, the police is going to be a banger. And then he brought in the chorus. And he said that, he also have a pre-chorus. That is, Saluto buntang karakul saluto no fankanguntang. Jamal ko dinding ko me fusi follow ko kasunkang. Something like that. So that is a pre-chorus sort of, and also an intro sort of for the song. So when I heard that, I said, then Nyancho, it will not be proper for me to come to lay my outro in this. In fact, I would prefer my intro, to be an outro. And the outro will be sort of a speech form. I want us to do it in a speech format. Now, instead of coming, to do the intro, let it be an outro in a speech format. And then that speech format also is going to be a decorative speech format where I am going to have it on a podium. This is what brought the podium mentality or the ideology. Do you understand?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we got into the studio. Yeah, we got into the studio. Multiple ideas. I must comment Fafanding, the backup DJ, Nyancho's childhood friend. We all, got to the studio. Fafanding brought his idea. I brought up my idea regarding the lines. Nyancho came with the chorus, and then bring the outro format. That is the outro that I mentioned. And then I also came up, voiced my outro, and then brought in the idea of standard ease, attention to be a bridge, in the song, because we definitely have to bring in the future that everybody will be like, okay, this is a police terminology or adage. You understand what I'm saying? So we had to bring that term, standard ease, attention on the bridge. So myself, had to do that. I voiced the standard ease, attention. So we had to bring in other company members to also lay their voice so that there can be a peak moment, as far as the production is concerned. So the standard ease, attention was my idea for it to come on the hook, because I wanted a police term to reflect on what we were doing. So Nyancho came smooth, his first verse, perfect. Fafanding also came, few lines, few ideas together. We brought in the second verse. And then my outro, I mean, the words that I had, the idea that I had was greater than, the content that J-Life was looking for. Can you imagine? So I had to cut it. I had to cut it short. Yeah, by omitting some of the lines, because they will not be able to fit in there. If they should include all the speeches that I had, then the police old song was going to be a more greater, song, in terms of timing. So J-Life said, no, DJs, no, we cannot allow you to do all these things. Or, you have to omit the names. I mean, the words are too much. Just try to shorten it. So I had to edit it in the studio. But then I also made sure, Carl, that whatever that I was going to put, on that outro, would be an iconic effort. And believe me, Carl, the police soul craft, and the iconic outro that I did in the video is the greatest outro ever in this country, and it will continue to be the most iconic.
Okay. Right here. Right in Germany, I was working on very night, and the mobilization of the police band on that stage at the very opening of the performance on the cake. I can tell you that for sure. But again, what is that we have a collection of various tracks to make it a product of a musician. How do you finance that Poliso album? Because, like you said, there was a proposal. Funding, and then that funding was for the deflections of the tracks that are going to be in the album. So, can you tell us something about that? Were there any monies before the actual recording, or the
that's right. Carl, are you hearing me?
I'm
very good. The funding, I mean, the Police All album launch event has a budget of 1.3 million. That was the budget of the album launch event, the album project, 1.3 million. This includes
in hand. That was in hand. You guys got the money.
Yes. I am coming. 1.3 million was the budget, and this includes the production cost. The audio, the audio and audio visual. The audio and audio visual aspect of things. The promotion aspect of things, the mobilization, you know, the marketing aspect of things. I mean, the activities ahead of the album launch event, the tournaments that were created ahead of the album launch event, the press conferences, and so many other movements were captured in this budget. So basically, you know, I wrote proposals to major organizations, both public and private organizations in the Gambia, for them to come to our aid. But then, Carl, I would like you to be reminded that Nyancho's album launch event and several other album launch events in this country came, you know, at a time called post-COVID. Post-COVID, you know, we came from, you know, the COVID-19, exactly, you know, strikes, the restrictions and everything, when businesses were not doing good in this country. I mean, the country was done of fatigue, you know, so to speak. You would approach companies and tell you, look, we just came from, yeah, exactly. We are trying to recover from the COVID problems. Our businesses has gone down, so we will not be able to aid, you know, in this project until next time. So it was very frustrating, Carl. And if you were in my shoes, you will definitely come to realize that as a manager of the business, I was definitely going through hell. I was going everywhere. We were moving around and about town in making sure that we get monies for this album launch event, due cognizance of the budget. So we couldn't get any support except for after sales technical support. There, I would mean, you know, the sound system, the stage, the backdrop, the 3 banners, the radio advert that they have given us. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what they did. So that is logically telling you that, Carl, as a manager, I had to go and take so many commitments from private individuals, from businesses, to be able to amass the monies that we need so that we will be able to fund the album as per the budget. So we went around and about. We couldn't get it, you know, from businesses, because we were also trying to work around the market aspect in making sure that we place whatever content for whoever comes in to support Nyancho, just like how businesses will do. I mean, they give you money, you also, you know, portray their contents, their image and whatever. So this was the proposal that I wrote, but then unfortunately, none of these businesses, you know, came to the support of Nyancho and his management. So we had to knock on the doors of individuals to borrow monies from them. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, because you also have to be a risk manager. Yeah, as a music businessman, an artist manager, you should be a risk manager. So there is what we call unforeseen contingencies in management. In the event plan A fails, what do you have as for plan B? So what I had for plan B was to knock on the doors of individuals to be able to borrow monies from them. Because it is my responsibility as Nyancho's manager to lobby funds, you know, as per the contract that we signed. One of my responsibilities is to be a lobbyist for Nyancho, and it is captured in the contract. So basically, I had to do what I am supposed to do as head of Nyancho's business, his manager, and then the general manager for Nyancho Apateki Entertainment Company. So we were able to generate $750,000 for us to work around the productions, to work around the activities ahead of the launch event. I mean, the football tournament that we had organized in Bakau, the printing of tickets, T-shirts, you know, promotional materials, the flyers, the banners, the posters, and of course, the engagement fee. Do you know that we had signed contracts with prominent promoters in the country, the likes of Sticky B and Pajawara? And yeah, we had paid them a huge amount of money, you know, for them to market the event and then, yeah, make it a very powerful promotion so that the masses can come out. So we had paid them, and then it was a moment of stress, Carl. And here again, you know, I will tell you, you know, because of the dynamics around that, I was, in fact, there was this time I got into a serious problem with Sticky B and Pajawan. I didn't have my good younger brothers, but at some point I feel they were not delivering as expected. So I had to take them to police, you know. Anyway,
okay.
You know, that's just to make the discussion colorful.
Interesting. If I may ask you, how much were they charging you for the son of the show?
Yeah, I had to engage these people. We had a deal of $150,000. So I paid them $75,000. $150,000 for in entirety for them.
7,000.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You know, but yo, Carl. Yeah, that was. It definitely worth it. Because one thing, well, Yes, exactly. One thing for sure. I respect every promoter in this country, especially the professional promoters. Here,
Mm-hmm.
I will categorize Bajawara and Mustafa as the most proactive promoters in this country. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
for us to have a successful album launch event, we should be able to network with promoters, media personnel, exactly, media personnel, those that are in print media, mass media, and social media. That was why I was able to engage Mustafa and Pajawara so that they can also subcontract other junior promoters under them to have that power, that vigor to aggressively promote Nyancho's album launch event. So we engage them, and then, yeah, they caught that fee. Yes, I did not even feel hesitant to give them, what they requested. So we talked as brothers, we talked around the business, because one thing for sure, that is, I mean, where they also earn livings. So, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
should not be, I should not be hesitant to give them what they're supposed to get. So I was able
Fair
to
enough.
do that. Yeah, fair enough. So we had this meeting, and then a down payment was made. I also signed a contract with them. I signed a contract with these promoters regarding, the dynamics, of promotion as far as the album launch
No, but
event is
what are
concerned.
the,
So
if I
we,
may come in, if I may, what are the various, the specifics, like into promotion? With promotion, you have components, which
yeah,
about the media, marketing, and itself. So, are they
yeah.
doing three all together?
Yes, exactly. Altogether, it was, for Mustik and Pa, I had to
Mm-hmm.
bring categorically, the contract that I signed with them was a music business consultancy contract. Do you understand? Now, yeah,
Okay.
they were the consultants that I brought into the team so that they can also subcontract the media presenters and other young promoters on the ground, because the contract also captured that it should be the responsibility of Mustik and Pa to uh, um, to lobby for radio times, yeah, to structure or allocate radio times for Nyancho and myself. So meaning all the radio interviews that we were supposed to, have at the time, we are going to be arranged by Mustik and Pajawara. So in essence, they also brought in young promoters that they work with, because they also have, strongholds across the country. So they had to bring in all these people and then inform them about the consultancy contract that I signed with them, so that those people also can consolidate efforts with them in making sure that they over promote the event. Because I had to bring in the gorilla ideology here, and then this was captured. One of the clauses in the contract said it has to be a gorilla promotion. Gorilla here would mean the most aggressive promotion ever in this country that these people, would do for Nyancho. So these were some of the clauses in the contract. And the day we met up, I read the contract clearly. They all had it. My team, Nyancho himself was there. One of our members from the UK was there. Fafanding was there, because I had to make sure the senior management team of Nyancho were there. So professionally, Carl, I had to make sure everything that's supposed to be done as a manager around the productions of the Police album launch event and its promotional activities, were done and in place. So we brought up these two potential promoters, engage them, by contract, and then I said, yo, this is work. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
in terms of work, Carl, I am so much professional. I wouldn't consider the fact that, okay, Musik Pase is my cousin or Pajawala is my younger brother. Once we sign a contract, we are supposed to be so much professional. We are supposed to work around that contract. We are not supposed to violate the contract, because there were penalties, indicated on the contract to say, in the event you default, this is what we are going to do. So at some point when we started the process, to a certain extent they defaulted, and I said, I want to have a meeting with you. I summoned a meeting. We met up at somewhere in Senegambia. Then on that meeting, I expressed my dissatisfaction regarding how they were handling the promotion of Nyancho as per the agreements in the contract. So I feel at some point they were not delivering as expected. So what I did was not to write them or to involve the state, but was to call them as brothers so that I can manifest or express, my dissatisfaction. And this is exactly what I did. When we invited them, I think this was at LP Bijelo, and we all met up and said, this is what we expected. These are the clauses in the contract, but then it seems you people are violating, or you've been violating some of these clauses, and I want us to reject the contract. So we did that. We reject the contract together. You understand?
Okay.
And they conquered. They accept the fact that
that is okay. It's okay. I think we have to move forward because you were saying the impact of COVID-19. There was donor in the Gambia. You needed 1.3 million Gambia to be able to do the full production. Also, the promotion aspects and the launching of Nyancho. You said you had mobilized 750 Gambian dollars. You were able to contract 7,000 to motors. How monies did you use on only record, like the record of the songs in this? How much you do that?
Yeah, that's right. In entirety, on the basis of production, we had spent 300 to 400,000 on productions.
Okay.
Yes. Both audio and audio visuals. And then audio visuals, that is where the deal is. Because imagine, Carl, even with the audio, because one single track would be $15,000 to $16,000. Nyancho will tell you this. The least amount that you would pay for a track that you would own in terms of the percussions, in terms of beat making, formulation, and everything, you would spend nothing less than $10,000 in this country. And I think the album is around 12 tracks, So from the side of productions, the audio and audio visuals.
Are you telling me, Dembo, all the quality songs we are receiving out of the Gambia right now, including the songs, the Jisul songs, and Jobi's songs, the Sambu songs, minimums pay to record
10,000.
Both, record cost you 10 or 15. It's more
10 to 15,000. 10 to 15,000. Yeah, that's right. Carl, just a second. I just want to draw my wife's attention. It's a home-based interview. Yes. Yes, I want her to serve me with juice. Hello, madam.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Do you?
Let's go on.
Yes. Let's move on. So
we are done with the time, and I just to go into aspects with the performances. You gave us an idea. So we just know a manager with all services that you do. How much enter with artists into contractual term with regards to all services that you do? How much goes to you?
That's right. Yes, my categorically, Carl, my shares they are divided into three. Yes, yes, I want to be clear here. There are two major shares that would always bring a problem, between a manager, and an artist over time. Mentalities will always change around that. That is the endorsement deals here. My share is 50-50 with the artist. Yes, exactly. If I'm the one that had gone, for example, to Universal Properties for them to endorse my artist, for brand ambassadorial responsibilities, my share would be 50 because I am the one who went to lobby. So basically, I had 50-50 deal with Nyancho on that share. So that's a major share aspect. Another major share aspect is individual or personal patronages. That is where if I had brought in Carl as a millionaire, from Europe or within the country, and I said, look, this is my artist potential. This is how I want you to come in and help. So if my influence had made that artist to give us money, based on my personal influence and my personal relationship with that person, I should get 50% and the artist get 50%. That was what we signed. That was my deal with Nyancho and the entire team. So yes, regarding the events, my share was 25%. After every major concert, 25%. Yes, was my share. The rest of the percentage goes to the artist, and then the production cost also comes from there. And then the rest of the monies will go to the music business account of Nyancho. Yeah, and then that is where other subordinates also, would be paid, and then operational services also will be handled. Are you getting me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So So as for concerts, I mean, is that clear?
Yeah, that is clear. That is clear. So if I can get you are that there are 3 shares that in from the artist, and one through the endorsement deals, and which you 50% and the artists have 50%. When it comes to bringing an investor who is going to invest in the company, you have 50%, artists also have 50%. And then when they take perform deals, which is to about concerts and performances, events, you have 20% and the artists 25%. Okay, that we have area the endorsements, and you are equal with the artists on that. Equal. Why? The members of the art, what has to do with members of the art, the instrumental players, the DJs, and other people. How much you have? If you compare, that you and those people part of it, is that fair deal?
Yes. Say it again, Carl. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying the deal, and artist company doesn't refer to this like the singer alone. You talk about artists as a company, doesn't only talks about artists, but there are other like instrumentals, like the day, like the of the artist. If they also had a percentage from endorsement deals of this, so that the manager receives more money than people.
Yes, exactly. Well, here, Carl, that's why there was this, young managers, one of the young managers in the country, so to speak, contacted me sometime last week to say he wants me to help him build a standard contract. He wants me to write a management contract with him, because he was going to sign a contract with his artist. I mean, he's one of the potential young managers in the industry coming up. In fact, his artist is doing very well. So I said, I don't know whether my contract will be applicable to you, or I mean, maybe the provisions will not be accepted by the artist that you are managing, because there is sophistication. There is sophistication in my management contracts. My contracts have some sophisticated clauses, but there is flexibility aspect here. You see, the rest of the staff in Apataki Entertainment Company also have an opportunity to go in for 50-50 share with Apataki. Do you know that the endorsement deal issue is not only applicable to me as far as the shares are concerned, but then any other member in the team that was able to bring at the time, whoever that should bring in an endorsement deal for Apataki, you will take 50 and he will take 50. This was across the board for everybody.
Thank you so much. I think that is very clear. Member also equal, who are part of him. We will quit that, because Dembo, you are a stakeholder. You are an artist manager. We will bring you different occasions to talk about the development taking place in Gambia. And I would love if you can you tell us what are some of the things to improve the creative sectors in just seconds, because we have no time.
Yeah, that's it. Nice. Thank you very much, Carl. One of the things that will help us improve the creative sector of the Gambia would be first, which they would always say is going to be critical here and there, the enforceable copyright law. The Copyright Act of the Gambia has to be enforceable. There have to be strong regulations in making sure that the users of the intellectual properties of artists pay them. You understand? Yes, if this is done, we would definitely improve. But we cannot continue to be in an industry where royalties are not being paid. It is going to be a problem. In fact, as far as I am concerned, that is the greatest source of income for any artist. Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing, yeah, exactly, yes. Yeah.
Okay. I know you want to state a lot of Dembo. Time is always our enemy. We have someone you, and we want to say we exceedingly to have you today on the TV, the Gambia, so the Gambia in depth. You know, I am your moderator, Kalilu Banja, and I want to thank you and I wish you a great head. Until our way next. Thank you so much, brother. Bye bye. Yeah, thank you.